So today we're going to be looking at Foo Fighters in terms of the top 50 pinball machines. Just in case you don't know, my top 50 here, it starts with Attack from Mars, and Big Lebowski, Fishtails, Elvira's House of Horror, Champion Pub, Dolly Parton, Sopranos, World Cup Soccer, Medieval Madness, Avengers Infinity Quest, Judge Dredd, Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, the Home Edition, The Little One, Popeye, and then Jackpot. The idea is that eventually there will be 50 pinball machines on there, and this is going to be my list. It's not the same as the Pinside Top 100 because I'm going to rate things a little bit differently and with different criteria, which I'll get into in just a second. The reason I'm doing Foo Fighters today, and that's going to be on the list, is a very good reason. I've sold it. Foo Fighters is gone. And I know there's going to be a... Well, I say it's gone. It's actually right here. It's about to go out and go on a trolley and be loaded up. There'll be a few people that'll be shocked at that, thinking, oh, wow, hold on, I thought you liked this. This is a good game, right? You'd be absolutely right. Foo Fighters is an excellent pinball machine and an excellent choice. But for me to be able to populate this list, things have to come and go. Very few pinball machines are what I would... Well, some people call them keepers. I don't call them keepers because there's many a machine that I've considered to be a keeper, which I've turned out that I've sold anyway. So if I've sold it, it can't really be a keeper. So I call them forever pins. And there are not too many that I have that I would consider to be forever pins. It just happens that this isn't one of them. So something's got to go. So actually, believe it or not, this has been sold. And so has Godzilla, provisionally. So they've got to go so something else can come in. Foo Fighters is actually being replaced by something else immediately. I'm not going to disclose what at the moment. Why would I? That's a whole separate video. We'll deal with that within the next week or two. We'll upload something on this channel. But I thought it'd be a really good opportunity for me to try and populate the list a little bit more because I thought, why not? What better time to do Foo Fighters than right now when it's right in front of me? Now, there are a number of videos on this channel on Foo Fighters. We have this one is the Pro version, but I was also lucky enough, because of our sponsor, due to their generosity of Pinball Heaven, to be able to have a Foo Fighters Pro and a Foo Fighters Premium side by side to do a direct comparison. Now, those videos are on this channel. Go and check them out, but we probably do have at least 3 or 4 Foo Fighters videos on here. So I'm not going to pack this full of footage and different bits and pieces. I just really wanted to get it up on the board. Now, the difference between my criteria and certainly the Pinside Top 100, I'm not overly concerned about artwork. I'm not particularly concerned about audio, which is ironic given that this is a music-based pin. There's a lot of stuff on there, like playfield artwork, which really don't factor into whether or not I enjoy playing a pinball machine or not. And I often use the example, I think Congo has got horrendous music, it's got horrendous artwork, the playfield looks awful, the back glass looks awful, but it is one of my favourite pinball machines. I absolutely love Congo. I'll actually go as far as to say another one. Another one is Lord of the Rings, one of my very favourite pins. The playfield artwork is awful. It's basically photoshopped images from the film, but you know what? I love the film. It's my favourite film. None of those things impact how much I love the game. What I do is when I like to assess a pinball machine, I'm assessing it for how much fun it is, how addictive it is, whether or not my friends who are not particularly into pinball enjoy playing it, whether it has particularly good shots, what are the toys like, is it fun, does it make me want to play it again, and ultimately we'll get down to the point of when it's gone, whether I miss it or not. Now, clearly I'm not going to be able to do that on this one because it's not gone. I don't know if I'm going to miss it or not, but I think I know enough about the game to know where it's going to stand in this list just there. Now, the important thing to note about Foo Fighters is this was Jack Danger's second machine that he designed. The first machine he designed, I've also been lucky enough to have here, which was the, was the Jurassic Park Home Pin edition. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a lot of innovation, actually, on that. Some really good shots, and I really enjoyed playing the game. This is his second go at it, and I think this is a great game. In terms of a shooter, in terms of shots and ball paths that take a different trajectory, this game, it is excellent. The shots on this are brilliant. And it's fun. It really is. I have to say that this game is an extremely fun pinball machine. I think the rules are relatively easy to learn. In fact, I would say almost the depth of this game is almost perfect for me. In fact, the more I speak about it, I don't know why I'm selling it. The upper flipper on this game, I think, works better than any other flipper that I've used since Avengers Infinity Quest. Now, again, Avengers Infinity Quest is a really good game. As a shooter, I think it possibly might be the best shooting game, quite possibly. Unfortunately, it's quite low down because of the rules, and ultimately, I find it's a pinball machine that takes itself far too seriously. I think the call-outs are absolutely awful, and the truth of the matter is, I find the shots fun, but I don't find the overall experience of playing Avengers Infinity Quest fun at all. This game here is, I don't know why I'm pointing to over there, this game here is fun. There's an awful lot of fun in it. The animations are great, the call-outs are great, the modes are absolutely amazing. As I mentioned, the upper flipper is fantastic. There's a lot to love about this game, and I do believe this to be Stern's, well, it's certainly Stern's best game since Godzilla. And I'm probably going to give you a bit of a spoiler now. I'd sold Godzilla before I sold this. Now, I won't know until I sort of review Godzilla to know which one I prefer. I think Godzilla's got a lot of things that are better than this, but this has a few things as well. In many respects, Godzilla's a little bit too deep in terms of its rules, whereas this was absolutely perfect for me. But Godzilla just has far more toys, and there's a lot more going on in it. But I do think that probably Jack Danger didn't have the bill of materials to spend on this game that certainly an established designer like Keith Elwin had. But I would say watch out for Jack Danger's next game, because he'll be given more license, he'll be given more money to spend, and looking at the innovation on this, I think there's really going to be some exciting things happening on here. I think one of the most impressive things with this game was the code was... Look, I mean, it wasn't finished because you're still getting code updates, but it was really advanced code immediately when you got here. I think the artwork looks stunning. It's a really nice looking game, really is. As I mentioned, it's really fun. There are no toys. There's a section in here where I like to appraise toys and mechanisms. Well, there aren't any. They're just not. There's no toys or mechanisms in this. There is a bit of innovation, I have to say, in the premium, and it's the post that pops up. I like that. It's a really, really cool concept. But I mean, if you're going to start comparing this, even the premium and the LE, to something I probably just out of shot at the moment, Big Lebowski over there, there's no comparison. There's no, in terms of toys, it's nothing close to it. But it doesn't stop this being a really, really fun game. It is fun. And what I like about it is, once I've learnt it and once I've sort of started to dial in a few of those shots, I do tend to play it, and I have played this quite a lot. My son really enjoys this game as well. He doesn't know that I've sold it yet. It has been sold already. And he's not going to be very happy about it. But, hey, you know, there are other games for him to play, and I'm sure he'll enjoy the next game that comes in here. One thing I would say about this game is, and one of the reasons it's going to have to go, there's had a few people asking me, why is Dolly Parton so high up? Why is Champion Pub so high up on this list? They engage non-pinball playing folk. When people come round here for a bite to eat, for a drink, for an evening, they would play those games, and they would carry on playing those games. They've really enjoyed it. I would say Fishtails to a lesser extent, because Fishtails is a little bit more difficult in the gameplay. It can be quite a hard game, so people that don't have any pinball skills can get frustrated with Fishtails. But when they come over here, people like to have a game of pinball. What is a really good barometer is to test whether or not they want a second game and a third game and a fourth game. What I've got to say about this is people didn't. There was some really interesting feedback with this game, actually. So I had somebody come over here who is who's actually a Foo Fighters fan. And by the way, I should point out, I like the music. I really do like the music. They were a band that were on my playlist anyway, so I was always going to, I think, appreciate it. But I had somebody come over here who was a Foo Fighters super fan. So I thought he's really going to enjoy playing this game. The truth of the matter is, he didn't really understand. They found it a little bit too fast. And some interesting feedback, which I heard back off more than one person, was whilst the ball was taking all these interesting ball paths and doing figures of eight and lots of different things, beginner players didn't feel that they were doing it. They didn't feel a reward for the shots. They just felt they were hitting the ball and then the machine was making it. And I think that's the kicker as well, the kicker that you get on it that propels it up into the sort of the upper section. And I can sort of understand that. So I don't think they were getting a massive sense of satisfaction from the game. And I do think it was so fast-paced, it's hard to understand what was happening on it. So you know, that's just one of those things. But I really enjoyed it. I think if you are... So this is not a pinball machine for the beginner. It's too fast. It really is. But I think for the intermediate player, for someone that has some flipper skills, someone that can do a bounce pass and, you know, maybe I was going to say a drop catch. I don't know if you've got that much time to do that. But a little bit of nudging here or there, and you're quite happy to learn some rules, but you perhaps don't have the time, the inclination, or the energy to learn a 20-page document. This may well be the machine for you, because the rules are easy to understand. I find the multipliers very, very easy to understand. I love the way with the captive ball that you accumulate your action button shots on there. I think that's really, really good as well. I like the way the modes progress through it. I love New York mode. I think it's excellent. I love the New Orleans mode. And whilst I haven't completed this game or got to Wizard mode, I've been close a few times. And I quite enjoy the jeopardy of building up the targets before you enter a mode. So there's really a lot to admire and a lot to love about this game. And I hadn't planned on selling it at all, because I was planning on doing a little short tutorial on it actually, which obviously won't happen now, but that's fine. There are better, bigger and better YouTube channels than this for you to go and learn how to play pinball games. This is just really for me to give my appraisal and to try and find out where this goes. So in essence, you know, sorry to see it go. But what's coming in, I was going to say, I think I prefer. I sort of know I will prefer it. Now, you probably think, me having said all of that, it's probably going to sit somewhere in the middle of here. And I probably would like to point out as well that there are a lot of games to populate this board that I haven't put on there yet, which are going to go at the bottom end of this. In many respects, I've started to populate a lot of the middle. But some people have said, where are the big hitters going to go? And if you know, if you're a regular watcher of the channel, or if you know me personally, you'll know I probably, Deadpool is not on here yet, and I don't think I'm telling any secret if I say that Deadpool is probably my favourite game. I'm not saying that's going to finish above Attack from Mars or Big Lebowski, but it's there or thereabouts. And there are a few other games like Batman 66 which haven't gone on here yet. Lord of the Rings hasn't gone on here yet, but that's for different reasons, because I started doing the channel, as I mentioned in another video, I started doing the channel before I was able to record it properly, so I don't have some decent footage of it. As and when I do, this will go on there. But there's no such excuses with Foo Fighters. So Foo Fighters is going on right now. Now, this is the interesting one here. Where am I going to put this? Well, let's just work basically. I'm just going to put my glasses on. Excuse me, even though it's close to me. That's how bad my eyes are. Is it above Jackpot? Yes. Popeye? Yes. Jurassic Park Home Edition? Yes. Ghostbusters? Absolutely. Judge Dredd? Avengers Infinity Quest? I think you already know it's going to go above Avengers Infinity Quest. Is it going to go above Medieval Madness? It is. It is. If you were to say to me, and here's the point, at this point, we take money out of the equation. And if you were to say to me, I'm going to lend you a pinball machine for a year, what would it be? Foo Fighters or any one of these? That's how I'm making the decision. I probably should have pointed out at the start of the video, I haven't done so. All the rules to this series are on episode 1. This is not episode 1. If you need to, go back and watch episode 1. For a game to qualify for this list, it has to have lived in this house, just so as I can appraise it properly and give it the necessary time. Hey, actually, speaking of which, have you seen my Foo Fighters light? Look at this. This is really cool. It probably looks a bit washed out on the camera at the moment. It's in real life, very, very vibrant. I'll be doing a video on these lights. I've got a Deadpool one as well. Oh, I mean, they're really, really cool. I'm keeping the light, but I'm getting rid of the game. Let's put it that way. Actually, the person that's buying this said, "Do I get the light as well?" No, you don't. They've got a Godzilla light as well. Actually, got Godzilla, Deadpool. There's a few of them. I'll do a video on it another time. I just thought it would look nice there for this particular video. So yeah, keep following the channel for the details of this. Foo Fighters, definitely. I would choose Foo Fighters above Medieval Madness. I would choose Foo Fighters above World Cup Soccer. Sopranos or Foo Fighters? Now we're getting. Now this is tough. This is actually tough. It has to be said. I would probably take Foo Fighters. I would take Foo Fighters above Sopranos. So I'm just going to move those down a little bit there. Oh, now this is tough. Foo Fighters or Dolly Parton? This is difficult. If I already had 3 or 4 games and you were to say Foo Fighters or Dolly Parton, I would take Dolly Parton. But that's not the game. That's not the rules here. It's if I only had 1 game. So if I only had 1 game, would I have Foo Fighters or Dolly Parton? I'd probably take Foo Fighters over Dolly Parton. Now, I am fully aware that I've said that Foo Fighters is a really good one for when guests come round. But at the end of the day, fuck them. This is my list, and the guests will have to do something else. They can have another pizza. They can have another cup of tea. So this is going above Dolly Parton. Champion Pub or Foo Fighters? Champion Pub or Foo Fighters? Watching, Gav. I'm choosing Foo Fighters. Elvira's House of Horrors or Foo Fighters? Oh! This is tough. I don't know. Honestly, I don't make this up before I start recording. I go with a full intention. I deliberately don't think about it, actually. So as when I get to here, I can try and give an honest appraisal. Elvira's House of Horrors or Foo Fighters? I'm at the moment in my mind, I'm comparing the Foo Fighters Premium with Elvira, because you have to, because Elvira's a premium. See, that Blood Red edition. You see that Blood Red edition of Elvira? That's a good-looking game, right? A really good-looking game. Oh, this is really hard. This is really hard. Truth of the matter is, I don't know. I'd take Elvira's House of Horrors. I would. I know it's an easier game. I know it's an easier game. Or would I? I think I would. Oh, it's tough. It's really, really tough. It's going above Champion Pub. It's definitely going above Champion Pub. And I am going to put it right here, which in my book makes it a really damn good game. A really good game. I don't know if the person that's bought this is watching this. I'm sure he will at some point. You got yourself a good game. Yeah, but he knows it. He actually came round here and played it. And when he was over here, he said, I love this game. I've got to, so I thought, oh, okay. Okay, and he couldn't, he couldn't quite stretch to buy himself a new one. And just things happened. Look, the pinball gods lined up. They really did. So it's Attack from Mars first. It's Big Lebowski second. Fishtails third. Elvira House of Horror fourth. And in 5th place at the moment is Foo Fighters. And that is out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got a way to go until we got 50 games populated on there. But as we stand at the moment, I haven't even had 50 games in this house yet. However, within the next 2 months, I will have another 4 games that I'll be able to put on that list that I've never had. So I'll be up to 44 games through this house. So I think it's safe to say we'll get to the 50. And I'd just like to, thank everybody that's offering me these games. I do these videos and, some really kind, some really very, very nice people who say, I'd like to lend you a game. I want to lend you a game so it can go on the list. And I've got some really, really good offers, which is just great for me because it means I get to play these wonderful games. I get to really enjoy them. I get to learn them, and I get to put them on the list. And for me personally as well, obviously I have in mind that there are a few games that I want and I want to keep, and I do wonder if one day I might have, whatever my top 5 is on here, if maybe my top 5, might be something that I'd would be my ideal collection. But it'd be very, very interesting to see. But there you go. There you have it. Foo Fighters from Stern. It's an excellent pinball machine.